good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you that have tuned into GMAP1 this morning to hear and to watch and to see our wonderful show. I promise you that you will be happy you tuned in with us this morning. My name is CJ. Everyone knows me as CJ. Originally from the Bahamas, excited to be here in the Waukegan, Illinois area where we come here every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central and 10 a.m. Eastern Time to share the love of a wonderful, unbelievable company known as Shop Free Mart. We have been given a mandate, a responsibility, an assignment to get the word out about this awesome company that was started by Mr. John Austin 2.5, 3 years ago to do one thing, and that is to make a difference in other people's lives in the area of their health, in the area of their finances, in the area of their relationships, in their personal lives, so that they can be all that they are designed to be, that they were called to be. So that is what we're here to do this morning. That is what this show is all about, ladies and gentlemen. And we're so thankful to you for being a part of this. We want to welcome you. We want to thank you. And I just want you to know, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with all the accolades and all the information about the company. All you need to know is this. Go to www.shopfreemart.com. That's www.shopfreemart.com. And I want you to become a free, did I say free? Free member of Shop Free Mart. And if someone directed you to this call them up and ask them what is their username so you can be signed up as a free member as a part of their team. If someone did not tell you about it, then you can give me a call. You can call me at 224-730-0925, and I will tell you and instruct you on how you can become a free member. I want to thank our producer, our technician, Pastor Kevin Strada. I know he's under the weather, but you know what? This man has made a commitment to be here every Tuesday as he runs this program and this TV station to share the world about what he does as far as getting the word of Jesus Christ out to the masses of people. So I want you to support this network, gmap1.com, even on every day, as a matter of fact. Whenever you get a chance, tune in, and I can promise you, you will be blessed. Inspirational music and the word, and then every Tuesday, come back and hear this show. So I want to get out of the way because I promise our special guest that she will have as much time as she needs on this particular program. So if you weren't here last week, let me give you a quick update. She came in and she literally rocked the boat. She gave our audience information that was so powerful. I've been getting calls and getting feedback that people are now hearing what we're saying about this whole thing about our health. And she gave us just a snippet of what this whole thing called the yeast beast was all about. So, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard that word Candida albicans? You ever heard of parasites and how all these things affect our body and our physical health? That is what she's going to expound upon today. She's going to come to us today and tell us a little bit more about how what we can look for to know that we have it. How can we know that we can get rid of this yeast beast? And here's what I love. A lot of people come to us with problems. A lot of people have information about issues. Very few come with solutions. Well, today, you're going to have some solutions. I'm sure a part of the show today is her giving you some solutions, and particularly of what you can use, how you can use Shop Free Mart products in order to be the solution for this area of your health. Okay, so let me get out of the way, but I got to tell you a really funny story. Very funny story. This morning I got a buzz. I was getting ready to go to the gym, get my little workout on. I got a buzz at 7 o'clock, and it was like, I'm on. And I said, who is this? Lo and behold, it was our special guest today, Liddy. She thought that the show was 2 hours early. I'm telling you, this lady woke up this morning. I call her the bionic woman of the 21st century, the bionic woman of Shop Free Mart, because she works tirelessly. She's giving, always out there sharing the love of Shop Free Mart, helping individuals, people that she don't even know that's not on her particular team. She's helping them all the time. That's the kind of person she is. So I texted back and said, Liddy, you're 2 hours early, but I thank you for being ready. She texted me back. She said, CJ, I was born ready. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you. I'm ready. Liddy's ready. I hope you're ready. So Liddy, are you there? Can you come on and share with us the love of Shop Free Mart and what you're doing? Sorry to bust you out like that.
Oh my gosh. So thank you, CJ. Thank you. What an honor to actually be here. And I know that we're kind of like tearing into this conversation called the yeast beast.
Yes.
And if I can just say this, I think I actually had the birthright of having the privilege to kind of walk through this valley because of what happened at my birth as well, and even before birth. And we know that the two most important years of a person's life are the 2 years before you were conceived. And so that creates an environment that actually will play out in life. So with that being said, CJ, this morning, I know that you asked me a couple questions. Would you like to give me some guide this morning as to how it is that you'd like for me to proceed?
Well, a couple of things I'd like you to do for our audience, Lydia. I want you to expound a little bit more on what a person who may be experiencing this overgrowth of yeast in their system known as Candida, what will literally tell them that they are experiencing this, whether they know it or not. Because a lot of times, people don't know that, they're working out, they're seemingly eating right, but yet they're not losing weight. It's like they hit that wall. And that may be a cause. I don't know. That may be a sign. Tell us, what can a person, individual, look for to know that they are suffering from this problem with Candida or overgrowth of Candida?
It's so powerful. It's actually, I'm going to say 99.99% of all things that actually are the underlying cause of issue in the tissue has to do with the beast called yeast. So let me just give a little description first of all, because Candida albicans, and we know that today that there are over 200 different scenarios around that conversation about organisms and species within that genesis of Candida. So as a result, it's a type of parasitical yeast-like fungus that inhibits the intestines and the genital tract and mouth and esophagus and the throat and so on. And that will play out by, if it's an imbalance within the body, that it will play out in symptoms such as having parts of the body being challenged. It could be in gastrointestinal tract issue, vaginal, mouth, ears, nose, and then it can turn into what is called constipation, diarrhea, abdominal pain, or headaches even, bad breath or rectal itching, impotence, memory loss, mood swings, canker sores. It could be heartburn. It could be muscle and joint pain. So if you're, working out and you're saying, I just can't get past this, or sore throat or congestion. It could be a nagging cough. It could be numbness in the face or extremities, tingling sensations. Some people say I have numb fingers. I got, some tingling going on. Night sweat, severe itching or clogging of sinuses, a PMS, or sometimes it's a burning tongue, white spots on the tongue. It could be white spots in the mouth. It's called thrush in babies, or it could be diaper rash. Fatigue, just can't, press on through it. It could be kidney and bladder infections, and then it can be later on called, I have joint issues that turn into a diagnostic prognostic of arthritis. It even could be depression, hyperthyroidism. It could be hypothyroidism, adrenal problems. It could be diabetes. Now we're talking about degenerating the body more and more as we don't address this so-called yeast beast, because this yeast beast begins to form in the intestines. And then that will penetrate into the bloodstream, and they call that systemic issues. So it becomes what is called the perfect breeding ground for Candida. And then that condition becomes bad enough, and it will irritate areas, and then toxins will manifest there, and that will then penetrate into the through the intestinal wall and get into that bloodstream. And that's the deeper breakdown of the immune system. So when it passes through that intestinal wall, now watch this, the white blood cells are consumed in their struggle to control the infection, and then further destroying of the immune system. So literally, now you've got what is called a parasite, yeast-like fungus that turns into this parasite eating material, and it begins to metamorphose into what is called a protective environment. It will literally create what is called a hard shell around it.
Wow.
And so that's called the exoskeleton.
Mm.
Well, if I can share on this call here this morning that it has been a discovery back thousands of years ago. And they, in the Greek and the modern days, to the researchers of where we are today, they have taken a look at this whole conversation. And for over 200 years, they have been studying this human host known to be this infectious agent of Candida. And they have discovered that what it begins to do is exsucate, and exsucate means excrete a matter. And then the matter that is a feces, if you will, that mass of cells and fluid that is going to now seep out of the blood vessels or an organ, especially in inflammation scenario. And inflammation, when you have inflammation, it means that there's pain. So pain means inflammation. And inflammation can be a mass of these cells. And there's a fluid substance. Well, that substance is secreted by a plant or an insect. So this so-called creature inside, living in this environment now, begins to eat what is called your resources of nutrition that you put into your body. So when it becomes full-blown infection, it will now begin to rob you of your life. It's seriously a silent killer.
Wow.
It'll suck your energy away. It'll take control of your feelings and control of your thinking, control of everything. So we can now begin to hear that we have an issue that has been established in the body. And the question is, when was that established? So CJ, maybe we want to take it back to you for a minute. And
wow. No, I mean,
you might have a question.
No, you did an excellent job, Liddy. The fear I have after listening to you and answering that question of what people can look for is that I don't think there were too many things that you left out. I mean, it would seem like it would have been easier to answer that question asking it the opposite way: is what is it that we shouldn't look for? Because everything you named, I mean, from thrush to sore throat to bloating to constipation to gas to fatigue to aches in the joints. I mean, it seems like it affects every area of our lives, and so that's why I think this is a very serious issue and a serious topic that everyone needs to know about. And some of the things that people experience every day, they may not realize that could be the simple problem. I love the example that Dr. Wheaton uses when he talks about his 200diseases.com ebook. And he says that, a lot of times you may drive a car and it may just stop. And, because you're not a mechanic or you don't know how to fix a car or anything about a car, some people don't, you may think or feel that it's something serious when it's a very simple problem, just that the car just ran out of gas. So you don't have to go to a mechanic or some expert to fix that particular problem with your automobile. All you need to do is get some gas, put it in the tank, and then you can get going again. And I feel like this is one of those things where, it seems like we have this problem with our bodies. Some things are going wrong, but it seems like there's things that we can do individually as people who care about our health, at least we should, that we can do to help fix it. So tell us some of the things that we can do as individuals when we feel these different symptoms, so to speak, that we can do to try and deal with this problem of overgrowth of Candida and really attacking this yeast beast.
CJ, you just opened up a really amazing thought process that I think everyone needs to go through. First of all, there are two different approaches. We can go conventional and we can go unconventional.
Okay.
And the conventional way of wisdom would mean that, as I was even given, the prescription for an antibiotic. And as I begun to learn about what an antibiotic does, first of all, you should have blood work drawn to make sure that you know that it is a bacteria infection. And antibiotics will only kill bacteria. But here's what you need to know is that you have been born with a friendly bacteria in your intestines. Remember I said that it actually will manifest itself in the intestines?
Yes.
Well, if you have a friendly bacteria, you were born with friendly bacteria, and the more friendly bacteria you have, the better it is. And the more you have, if it is that you've been breastfed, you have more friendly bacteria than somebody that was bottle fed. And so as I was doing all this research, realizing that they're linking it back to even bottle-fed situations that are even carrying a bacteria, which have suppressed the immune system because of what's gone on with just the nipples of the bottle. And so it's a carrier of some more bacteria. But it could be fungus, it could be viral, it could be parasitical, it could be any invasion. So now as the child grows, we end up having to have more friendly bacteria. That's called your army, your first line of defense. And that's a friendly bacteria. And so here's what's important. We have to keep that friendly bacteria living so that it will take care of all of the invaders. And when you put antibiotics into the system, it will weaken that immune system and also destroy bacteria. It doesn't have the distinction, doesn't know the difference between good or bad bacteria. It doesn't know that. It only will kill bacteria. So if you're going to take an antibiotic, you can say, are you killing your front line of defense? Imagine it to be so. And even if it is a fungal infection, we're talking about a parasite yeast like fungus, not a bacteria. So we're looking at a fungus, and we're saying you're going to put an antibiotic in for bacteria. Take a deep breath to say, oh my gosh, because here's what we're looking at right now. You're looking at, oh my gosh, I didn't know this. Well, be okay with the fact that you have to give your body new friendly bacteria. It's got to be living enzymes like probiotics and so on. And that's going to be important, as we're going to discuss this in just a minute. But we have to know that you have to give your body back the good friendly bacteria to go give your body the army back. And so that you can destroy that. Now, here's the important thing. Antibiotics are not going to be the solution, but if you look at some severe cases of this candida that travels through the bloodstream, it will invade every organ in your body, causing blood poisoning called candida septicemia. And that condition will always occur, and people that have serious underlying illnesses such as advanced cancer or AIDS are having that immune system breakdown. So here we are. Long term, we have an antibiotic therapy, and you might have overgrowth that's begun to take over. And now we have to go back and say, how do I get this back in place? Well, number one, if you were born and you were bottle fed, number one, know that when you were born with what is called a stomach lining that had holes in it, had peripheral holes. That's how the fetus gets fed in utero. And once born, the colostrum breast milk heals that inner lining of the stomach. So there's a product that you can get which is called Immunize. It is colostrum. It's not too late. Help your body. Make sure that you heal that tissue. And then you have to say, I've got to go after these invaders. I've got to stop. I got to kill the yeast, and I've got to stop feeding it. So how you stop feeding it is that there's a product called Sugar D. Sugar D is going to help you maintain your cravings, because when you stir these guys up, they get hungry. And you think that you're going to be able to manage this whole conversation. From neck on down, your body is far bigger than neck on up. So your body is going to dictate what you're going to put in your mouth from neck on up. So control the beast. That means take Sugar D so that you're not going to take on carbohydrates, simple or complex carbohydrates, to feed the beast. And stay away from anything, dairy, sugar, carbs, caffeine, alcohol, all major feeders for the beast. And then you're going to say, well, okay, now what? So now I got to kill the adult. The adult basically lays eggs. It actually then will have more of those little creatures within, and that becomes to the point of where it's so systemic that you could even have an outbreak, and it will look like little pimples. It'll look like little dots. It'll look like, you'll have fecal matter that will look like disgusting, but you've got to get rid of them. They've got to be destroyed. So there's a product called Activate. Activate is a product that has 800 milligrams of chitosan, which 800 milligrams of chitosan, it is a 6-chain, branch chain, an oligosaccharide that as it is formed from the chitosan, which is an element that comes from the exterior of an oyster shell, and as a result, that it is not the meat of it, it is the shell. And this is the important piece. It was in Japan, they actually use it as a spray on meats because they have a lot of fish that they eat, and that they knew that there was something that could be, an invader within that. So it would actually kill that, so it wouldn't have to be when they ate raw fish and so on, that it would be carrying all of that invader throughout that body. So they've been doing this for years.
Wow.
So this 6-branch chain oligosaccharide, which is actually going to help you with controlling hypertension, diabetes, high density lipoprotein. It's actually going to help with ailments of the liver and gastric areas, but it will also control excess acid, antifungal, which is the candida, antifungal, antibacterial. It will bind with excess fat in the body and it inhibit fat absorption. So it will boost your HDL, your high density lipoprotein, and lower the LDL, which is what is your liver, and help your liver out. And it will increase the bifidobacteria, which is the friendly bacteria in your colon. And it will support the blood sugar by inhibiting the fat intake. So it's going to lower that blood sugar, and so that you don't have all of the garbage parked in your fats. And it will support an immune system by restoring the colonic balance. And subsequently, you're going to have cleaner and more activating removal of your cells, that the hydration drops are going to help your body carry the resources in and then pull the garbage out. And it will also increase the absorption of calcium. And yes, there is a product called decal boron. I like to encourage people to take because we need the structure, the body composition, and boron is the boss. Boron will mobilize calcium. So if it's like bone spurs or heel spurs or kidney stones or gallstones and things such as this, that, it is calcified calcium. And I know that we want to put a disclaimer around this. We're not here to diagnose, treat, cure. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what you can find on the internet. You can actually go and do research on and understand that here we are today. If we understand that chitosan, that saccharide that we're talking about, will help clean the waste from the cells and facilitate growth of good bacteria, it can be considered an anti-candida food.
Wow.
And that's what we're talking about.
Wow. You know what, you just kind of, you just gave us a great transition, because I want you to keep on that train of thought, Liddy. We're going to take not even 5 minutes, a quick break, okay? And we're going to come back, and I really want you to kind of take off from where you left off there and talk about some of the things we can do to really continue to fight off this yeast and maybe give our body back that microflora that we're destroying with all these antibiotics. And talk a little bit about the, I think you mentioned a couple of them, the acidophilus, the bifidus, those probiotics that help our body stay healthy and fight off this yeast. And then how specifically, because there are a lot of people on this call, Liddy, that want to know, I'm suffering from overweight. There's so many people in this country and around the world who are suffering from obesity, and overweight, and it causes other problems and other health issues. And I want you to tie the two together, how if we clean the house out, that's the way I like to look at it, because I'm a visual person. If we can get the house cleaned out, then we can have a better functioning body, better health. And I want you to kind of tie those two things together. And then I want you to hit for us, because I know that this whole thing with the parasites and the yeast and the candida all ties in together. And this may sound a little gross, but I was told one time that these parasites inside our bodies actually excrete their waste in our body. So they're having a good old time, having a party down there, drinking, eating, and all, and then they excrete their waste into our system, and that affects our bodies too. I want you to share with our audience how that can be so detrimental and how we can fight it by making sure our body has what it needs. So we're going to come right back on the other side of this break, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for tuning in to GMAP1.com. We're here every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central, at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you can just tell all your friends and family about it and give us the support, we will love you for it. But please, 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 if nothing else, go to shopfreemart.com. Go to 200diseases.com and check out that ebook that has so much information. A lot of things that Lydia is sharing with you today that is so powerful, you can collaborate that by going to this ebook. You can go online and research it yourself, but you will find that what she's saying is so true and so powerful that you need to know more about it. So we're going to come back, and Lydia's going to share some more with us on this wonderful topic that everyone needs to know about, how we can fight the yeast beast.
Prepare to launch your dreams. Discover a standalone opportunity built on quality, honesty, and integrity. We have all seen the deception and trickery that many companies have used in the past. The ladders to climb and the hoops to jump through was more like a circus than a grand plan to be financial free. Our mission is to bring integrity back to free enterprise. There is a lot to be admired here and many things to be thankful for, like no out-of-pocket expense, no inventory, no parties or meetings away from home. FreeMart is a free profit-sharing shopping club with a vision to heal the earth and improve your quality of living. FreeMart is not a network marketing or direct sales company or business in the sense that we are all too familiar with. It's simple. Just think for a moment. The act of kindness. How many times have you told someone about a great sale, a good movie, or a fine restaurant? Freely sharing great things is natural for most of us, and yet we don't expect to be rewarded for doing so, even though you were instrumental in generating additional profits for them, right? Now imagine receiving on a regular basis profit sharing from big box stores that carry eco-friendly product, effective nutritional, agricultural minerals, just to name a few. FreeMart has the momentum to be that big. Our experts have purposely structured a company unlike anything that has ever been done before. This is remarkable history. The momentum is building in global markets with people from all walks of life who share the FreeMart story. As a first-of-its-kind industry innovator, FreeMart gives you a lifetime membership and all the support you need to be receiving company profits. Most importantly, there is never any obligation for you to purchase a product in order to get paid. Members buy products because they want to, not because they have to. FreeMart is committed to bringing members premium, state-of-the-art products and services. FreeMart will continue to stay ahead of the curve in the coming months and years, providing exclusive, life-changing products, great service, with incredible value exclusive only to FreeMart. This is how it works. You receive rewards when any member you refer or they refer makes a product purchase. It extends even further. When your referred member shares this amazing opportunity with others, you receive generous bonuses and rewards from a unique Fast Start bonus program and 9-level pay plan. As you well know, this has unlimited potential for part-time or serious full-time income. Share the FreeMart story and join the club where we are mission-based and commission naturally follows. FreeMart could be your golden ticket to the freedom you've been searching for. Take advantage of this phenomenal business model that's in place and meet our team of experts willing to help you right now. Get back to the member that shared this video with you and secure your position today.
Thank you for coming back to. And I hope that you were able to call a few of your friends and tell them to tune into our show, because we have a wonderful show today, just sharing some very important and powerful information from our special guest, Ms. Liddy Fromm, all the way from Georgia. And she just was sharing with us about how we as individuals can really tell whether we are suffering from this. I really think it's an epidemic, because so many people in the world are suffering from all those different ailments that you mentioned earlier, Lydia, whether it be, fatigue, problems with our immune system, itching, the thrush, all those things that you mentioned, the fungus, all these things. A lot of people are suffering from these things, and a lot of people are suffering from weight loss, and not weight loss, but weight gain, and not knowing how to deal with it. And so I just want you to come right back and share with us a little bit about what you were talking about before we left, of some of those things that we can do to help fight this issue of a buildup of candida in our system.
You are so right. As a matter of fact, that there's an article to extend what it is that you just brought up, is that there was an article in the New York Times on Saturday, the 6th of April, just weeks ago, right? A week ago. And it was an article that talks about this mysterious infection that's spanning the globe in a climate of secrecy. And they're realizing that what's going on is that here is a hospital. People are going into hospitals. They have a weakened immune system. People are in the hospital for like 90 days. And, this man passed away, but candida did not. And they took tests, and they showed that everything in the room was so invasive in the hospital that it needed special cleaning equipment. And they had to take off, it was on the ceiling tiles, the floor tiles. They had to eradicate it. But it was on the bed and on the doors, the curtains, the phones, in the sink, the whiteboards, the poles, the pump, the everything. And this Dr. Lauren was talking about the fact that they had to throw the mattress and the bed rails and everything away because they didn't know how it is that they're going to take care of that. Now, here's what we're talking about. It becomes so, let's call it, the yeast is the beast. And when they actually just take on, number one, and cleaning their hands with the antibacterial soap, I'm going to say this, it has alcohol in it. And when you put alcohol on your body, it opens up those pores, and it actually makes you become more susceptible to even what is called the environment that you are within. Right. So if you have that in your home, first of all, can we just say, stop the bleed? And so I'm just going to talk about a couple things. Number one, here's what's important. The role of the bifidobacteria, that has to take care of all of the invaders. And so the invaders, that bacteria is so critical, but if you have stress in your body, you have taken antibiotics or improper diet or food additives, the chlorinated water, the refined sugars, the flours, the birth control pills, all of this will kill that friendly bacteria. Wow. So stop the bleed, first of all, and stop giving your body, that's called full exposure. When you take a shower, full exposure. You have that whole entire body exposed to the laundry detergents, the chemicals that are, in the environment, everything you touch. Every time you use the restroom, you go use that antibacterial soap. I'm going to say, first of all, stop. And then taking a look at what you actually put in your toothbrush for your toothpaste. So there's a product called Enviro. And you're going to make yourself your own hand soap. That's going to be with putting silver in that hand soap. You're going to take the pure product, put it in a hand pump, and then you're going to take drops of the pure silver, one dropper full, put it in there to create antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal hand wash. And you can put like 6 drops of the peppermint or spearmint, that's called essential oils, in there. And now it becomes your hand soap with a little flavor or odor. And then it also becomes very palatable for your mouth to brush your teeth. In the same container. Then you use the rest of that, go into the shower, and use that as your body wash. Wow. So that's the first thing. Now you've got the exterior invader and the protected from just your skin. Then you say internally. I got externally and internally protection. Right. I've got to figure out what's going on with my stomach. Then I say I'm going to put those immunize, so protect that stomach lining and your esophagus and everything. And you can take on a product that's called Healthy Candy, and you can chew it. And it can be given even to children. Right. So this is another important thing. And then we are talking about the Activate and you've got to kill that invader. You've got to destroy the desire to want to feed it with the sugar D. And then you talked about also the importance of even Vitalize. This is the God molecule. And this is a way to be able to go back and repair all the areas where there's scar tissue, where there is damage, that your body has to go back and restore itself. And this is so profound because it has what is called the ability to help you have your weight go back into its weight balance.
Okay.
And so it will help you repair, not let your body be destroyed. And so when your body is weak, it looks for everything, it hangs on to everything, and when it's weak, you have low frequency. Your body wants to be strong, it wants to be superior, and so the Vitalize product has the B12 in there that you need to help you with your brain and your liver and all of the functions of the body. It has what is called the FGF, the fibroblast growth factor, and that's going to help repair. It's also 22 amino acids for protein, and so here it is that you have your protein that's going to support the building blocks of your cells, and subsequently you've got what is called your body coming back together. That's called the game changer. So here it is. You can take on some pure concentrated products. For the past 37 years of being involved in this wellness journey, helping people with understanding that you can do the minimum to get the maximum. If I could help you spend the minimum amount of money to get the maximum amount of results, if you could take the minimum amount of product and get the maximum amount of return, that's what I want to speak about. Because there are people that are saying, I can't afford it, I can't afford to do this, and I am saying, today is the new day on the horizon. You can afford to do all things because the company is going to gift you what is called a free referral link, have you get a free lifetime account, and you're going to be able to start by doing the minimum to get the maximum return. And your body is going to perform at its peak optimum, and that's going to be called your test. It becomes the testimonial.
Wow.
Thank you, CJ.
Wow, thank you so much, Lydia. The words are so powerful. You're so knowledgeable. What I love about what you do that helps all of us that are already a part of Sugar-Free Mart, that already have our free membership to this wonderful discounted club that we can take advantage of. And like you say, very, very minimally have some great results that can literally change our lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking copious notes. I hope that you are doing the same. I will say this, the company that has these wonderful, pure, concentrated products that Lydia's talking about is called Sugar-Free Mart, where you do have the ability to become a free member. That's right. You heard it right. It doesn't cost you anything to become a free member of Sugar-Free Mart, and it allows you now to have access to these wonderful products that she's referring to that will help you with this particular area of your life and other areas as well, because there are people on this call that are suffering from cardiovascular problems, from diabetes, from just joint pain, from all these different ailments and maladies that we get into our lives every single day, or we know somebody suffering from dementia, from Alzheimer's, people who are just having cramps in their legs and muscle problems on a regular basis, knee joints and arm joints and shoulder pain and back pain, and they just feel like there is no answer. Well, the whole purpose of Sugar-Free Mart is to make a difference in everyone's lives in the areas where they are suffering. And so you have the opportunity now to do it, and to do it very, very simplistically and very cost effective, because again, how can you beat free, right? How can you beat free? And then on top of that, the company is a company that has said, you know what, there are a lot of people who feel like they've been asked to do too much in order to get what they need, and when it comes to getting great nutritional products. So a lot of companies want you to sign up on a monthly auto ship where you have to pay every single month to get products, whether you need them or not. And what I love about Sharp Fremont and this company that we're referring to is that they don't allow you to do that. They will not take your credit card and keep it on file. They will not allow you to get on an auto ship where you have to have money coming out of your account every single month. You just order what you want, when you want, and no one is going to force you to do it. But after hearing a show like this, why wouldn't you want to try these products when you know you are suffering from one of these ailments that Letty has talked about? Why would you not want to try some of these products like the Decal Boron, the Activate, the Sugar D, the Vitalize? If you know that your family member, whether it be your spouse or your children, your aunt, your grandmother, your grandfather, are suffering from these types of ailments. So it's incumbent upon you to take the responsibility to sign up as a free member, get them signed up as a free member, have them order these products so that they can make a difference in their lives. Now, Liddy, we've been kind of going around a little bit with some of these products that you mentioned, but there is another product that Sharp Fremont has that I would really like for you to talk about briefly and kind of tie it in on how it really can work hand in hand with fighting this fight against this war with the yeast beast. And I know you know what product I'm talking about, but I know that there's a link that they can, how they can work together so again, you can get the maximum results from your health. And if you can just kind of fill us in on how that works with our hydration drop product, and then we can tie it all together at the end here. And I want to share with our audience how they can listen to this show again later on today or tomorrow or whenever, and so people can be tuned. I know some people are asking for this show to be recorded and to be sent out, but we will have it available to you. So, Liddy, how I know you've mentioned several of the products that people can use to solve these problems and help with their weight gain, to help with their elimination of pain, to help with them building a strong immune system. But tell us a little bit about this other product that Sharp Fremont has called the Hydration Drops and how it ties in and connected with some of these other products to help us in this war on Candida.
I know that the most important thing that we do is understand that water is the carrier, and that there are many books written about reversing the aging process, but water is a strong solvent. So understand that water is a solvent. It is also the carrier, and it will carry many invisible ingredients like minerals and oxygen and nutrients and waste products and pollutants and so on. So inside the human body, the blood is 90% of it is water. And then when we get to the point of when we pass on, it is much less, to the point in which it is just a small percentage. So we are degenerating. So what happens is that water is the key point. But if you're not drinking water, we are dehydrating. And dehydration will lead to deficiencies, and deficiencies lead to dysfunction, and dysfunction leads to dis-ease. So if you really want, go back to optimum health. You say, I want ease, I want function, I want efficiency, then I must have hydration.
Wow.
So here's what's unique. The water molecule has what is called a size, and it has a bond angle, and when the bond angle is shifted and you make the water molecule a smaller water molecule, and through the proprietary light technology that is used in the hydration drops, it literally is changing that bond angle. And when that bond angled water, structured water, is now penetrating across that cell membrane, if it's not the right size, see, your cells have what is called a membrane, and the membrane is the brain. And if it can get through the double layer, it is going to get into the nucleus of the cell. But if it's not the right size and it is, the body cannot recognize it, the cells cannot recognize it, then what happens is that it sits in the membrane area that's trapped within the two layers, and it swells up. So you might feel puffy. You might say that I'm retaining some fluid. You're going to have those signs. But the water molecule must carry through and penetrate through the cell. hydration drops is the game changer. If you put it in distilled water and you put literally 6 drops of the hydration drops in the water, and it will have the proper delivery, it will carry the nutrients across that cell membrane. And since the distilled water is a neutral charge, but when it gets into the body, it will turn into an alkalinity, and subsequently it goes in across the cell membrane. But it is also what is called a negative charge. And so it penetrates across, delivers the goods. Think of it like it opens up like a shower head, distributes it, and then it has the ability to pick up the positive charge, the poisons, the toxins, and escort it out. So here's what you've got going on. You have increased assimilation, increased elimination through one key, 1-2 punch, I like to call it, hydration. When you get to that point, you have a game changer. So now that water will circulate throughout the entire body. It will then be the distributor of oxygen and nutrients and collecting the waste and the carbon dioxides, and actually has your body go back into homeostasis, which is called biochemical balance. And when it delivers the minerals, you have bioelectrical balance. And so all of this, as part of this whole equation that we're talking about, is that our body wants to fire properly. When it is that somebody's shaking, you feel like you're shaking, that's a sign that the body can say, I'm not firing completely. It's like a little short in the neurological system. That's a mineral. Like sign. So we can see symptoms and know that that's relating to something. Don't ignore them. You do not have a dashboard like a car, but you do have symptoms. And don't put the Band-Aid over the problem, because what we resist will persist. And if you embrace it, you can erase it. So make today the first day of the rest of your life, and knowing that you can be empowered by way of being empowering to your body by making choices that can serve. Thank you, CJ.
Oh my goodness, Lydia, you are just blowing my mind. You know, can I just carry you around in my pockets every time I talk to someone about hydration and elimination and getting our bodies back, and I can just pull you out and say, "Get them, Lydia." Can I do that?
Here's what you can do. You can actually put a group of people together, and I actually tell people, when I know that you're challenged, and sometimes that's your wake-up call, I know that you got to look at it like this. Think of it like you have 2 roads, right? And you got a little V in the road, and you got to take a left or a right, okay? So conventional wisdom is one road, and unconventional wisdom is another road. So go back to the fork in the road and make a deliberate decision to look at homeopathists, natural pathologists, nutritionists, dietitians. What do they know? What are they going to tell you? And then as you begin to hear this, it's all going to start to make some logical sense. And you're like, why isn't everybody over here? Well, because we, in a sense, have become sheeple, not people, and we kind of like go along with it, what everything always thought was, should be, and understanding that some of those are maybe not the truth, or a mistruth or misunderstanding and rejection of knowledge. And so what we want to do is we wanted, the resolution yesterday, or we want it to happen like right now. So we choose things that are in the now, when in fact that what you do today is going to matter for tomorrow's to be. So whatever cells you develop today, if you put the mask the problem, you're manifesting weak cells. But if you think about an unconventional way, you say, okay, today I am going to help my body build strong cells. If the body's going to build these superior cells, then 7 years from now, when this bone cell still has to be a bone cell that's being manufactured today, I'm going to have strong bones. And if I ignore it, I won't have that situation. I might have grandma falls and breaks her hip. No, the bone became brittle that caused the weakness that caused the fall. Now you see it completely different. You say, oh, so today's the day I make sure that I have some mobilization of some calcium, because calcium is going to keep my bones strong. And if I'm going to get rid of this beast, I get to have some of those bone cells to become stronger. I can mobilize the calcium from the food that I'm eating by adding some boron, decal boron. And these are simple things, people. You can put it in your water, and you can have it delivered. And it will go and dissolve. I had a bone spur on my right toe, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to just, while I'm sitting at my desk, I'm going to take some of that boron, just rub it in there. And it's been about 2 months, and that bone spur is gone.
Wow.
All I did is topically rub it on there because your skin is an organ.
Right.
It's got pores, just like your cells have pores.
Right.
If it's the right size, it will deliver, it will do something. And I took it in my water.
Wow.
So here's what I know. That my floaters are gone in my eyes. I know that I've got, a strong body. I was supposed to be in a wheelchair by 32.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm
just not in a state where I was.
Wow,
and I can tell you
that's awesome.
that it feels like victory every day.
That's a beautiful
So knowing
thing.
that today is going to dictate your tomorrows to be.
Yes. No offense against doctors, but had you gone to a conventional doctor, they probably would have given you some type of a pill, some kind of a prescription, or recommend some type of a procedure or surgery to deal with that, when all you did was something very simple, utilize the minerals and the nutrients that your body needs to do what it's supposed to do, and you got the results that you were looking for. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we have to have that patience. We have to have that time where we just stop and think, and then realize that this way hasn't been working in the past. So let's try something new. Let's try something unconventional. And what I love about what you do, Liddy, is you take all this complicated stuff and you use these big words that a lot of people don't understand, and you make it simple. I mean, as you're speaking, I'm getting it, what you're saying. I'm understanding what you're saying, and it makes so much sense. And so that's why I love when you present, because you can take the ordinary person who don't have the ability to even pronounce some of these words and just make us understand how simple it is for us to really take good care of our health. And then, again, there's so many people that come up with the problems and all the issues of life and all the stress and headaches, but you have here, and what we have at Shelfree Mart, are solutions, and are simple solutions. And I want to take this time to share with our audience that, if you have the ability to get on a call in the evening, it's okay if I just promote your call, your 9 o'clock call, Liddy. Is that okay with you?
Surely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Absolutely.
I try my best to get on this call every single day. And the reason I do it is because every time I get on, I learn something new, or something is even solidified in my spirit. And it's so inspirational, informational, just life-changing. And then on top of that, you get to hear real live testimonies of individuals that are using these products that she mentioned, the Immunize, the Decal Boron, the Activate, the Sugar D to stop the cravings, the Vitalize that has the God molecule that literally keep our bodies together, where we're getting all our vitamins, amino acids. All of these things are talked about, but you're going to hear from really powerful, true testimonies of individuals that are using these products every day. And so I want you to take a pen and paper, and if you're watching the recording, write it down, because one thing I can say about Liddy, she's not just the hardest working woman I know in this industry. She's very consistent. I promise you, she will be there. She will share her heart, and she will give you information that will just be life-changing for you. So write this number down, ladies and gentlemen. That's 781-448-0092. There's no PIN, so all you need to remember is 781-448-0092, and that call takes place Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central. So you have no excuse. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. You have no excuse, because by that time the kids are in bed, they're fed, washed, in bed. Your husband, your spouse will get them on the call with you, because this information will help everyone in your family. So again, I'm going to give the number one more time, 781-448-0092. There's no PIN. It's every night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and you will hear some wonderful testimonies of these products, about this company, that you'll know that it's not just me, it's not just Liddy, it's just not Dr. Wheaton and Dr. Tassel Daly and all of the guests that we've had on our show in the past. We had Dr. Breakthrough come on and talk about the company. So this is kind of a lead up to what we're going to talk about next week. I'm going to go into detail about this wonderful company called Short-Free Mart, because sometimes, we have to get the overview of what Short-Free Mart has to offer and how we are attacking all of these areas of our health and our wellness, and also with our finances, our relationships, because I believe they're all intertwined, they're all interconnected. If we're making all the money that we can make, if we're living a healthy lifestyle, our relationships are better, less stress, so that relieves all of those tensions that also is a symptom of disease. So we need to know a little bit more about what this Short-Free Mart opportunity is all about. So I'm going to go into a lot of detail next week about how Short-Free Mart can make a difference in your life. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are able to, if you want to see this show again, you can go to YouTube sometime this afternoon. It'll be posted. And you will be able to see the show again. So if I was you, I would direct my friends and family to the show so they can hear this wonderful information that Liddy talked with us about today. Liddy, I want to say this to you, my dear. You are awesome. You are a great ambassador for Short-Free Mart. You are a great ambassador for women. I know you have a special women's call tonight. Just briefly before we close out and give us one last word, tell us about your women's call tonight.
Well, tonight, we believe that women like to talk about, women's issues and so on. So every Tuesday evening, 8:30 Eastern, at the same number, 781-448-0092, we come and invite all of the women to come on and hear about issues that are challenges for them. So it will be from birth to rebirth. That's how we like to call it. We're going to cover all of that. So young, it doesn't matter if it's a teen, if it doesn't matter if it's a young mother, and I'm going to say a young adult, as we would say. We don't like to call aging as part of the whole process, but we do know that there are things to reverse the aging process. So we talk about everything that impacts all that entire journey of understanding how it is that we can take control of our destiny and then know what to do in our own households, because we are the primary purchasing agent for things that come into the house, and that we can deliver what is called impact. So if we have what is called impact products, then we're going to be global impactors of wellness.
Wow.
And we believe that we can do it the wealthy way. And as a result of that, invite everyone that's a woman to the calls. We know we have some men dialing in, so that they speak to a lot of women, so they like to know how to have a conversation and lead them to the call. So we do invite you, as you are all messengers, and then supporting women as well in this journey. So remember that problems cause panic and chaos, and solutions cause peace. And we want to be peacemakers on the planet and be the light and love.
Wow.
Thank you all.
Wow. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in today. Lydia, I want to thank you again so much for doing such a wonderful job these last 2 weeks. I have to have you back on our show again. We need to talk, and I look forward to connecting with you in Branson, Missouri in a couple of weeks. I can't wait to see you. I'm going to give you a big hug and just reconnect with you, and I look forward to that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining our show today. Next week, we'll be right back at 9 a.m. Central Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Next week, Tuesday, tune in to GMAP1. I want to thank you. I want to thank our producer, Pastor Kevin Strada, and GMAP1. Tune in every day. They're here just giving you powerful shows and television shows, so tune on in. Again, we look forward to you next week being back on track, and we are going to talk about Short-Free Mart and why this company is the best opportunity for you. Thank you, Lydia, again. I feel educated. I feel smart now, actually. And so we look forward to you being back on the show another day, and we'll talk about that. We just thank you for all that you do and continue. God bless you, my dear.
And thank you all for just being that message.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.